Want to see something crazy? There's been repeated instances of Trump supporters lately being attacked just for wearing MAGA hats, and something truly shocking happened at Washington State University just recently. Watch this news report before I tell you what's exactly going on.
After a long day at work, the WSU junior says he got ambushed and jumped by Patrick Mahoney and Gerald Hoff.
Patrick, ripped the hat off my head
for wearing this bright red Trump cap.
He said to me, "Go get it." He'll punch me a bunch of times on the back.
Sonny says they unleashed a vicious beatdown, all caught on surveillance cameras right in front of the Coug, a popular campus bar packed with students.
Gerald also kicked me also a bunch of times too. Patrick, he grabbed my chest, I slammed it on the concrete as I was falling.
He tried to defend himself,
so I had to go throw my food at his face.
But Sonny says 2 against 1 was just unfair.
And I was like, what the hell just happened?
And the melee left him with multiple scrapes and bruises.
All because of this, yeah.
Pullman police eventually found the pair nearby within hours of the chaos.
I've seen this guy this before.
Okay.
I know he's like right-wing dude.
Mahoney and Hoff pretty much admitted to the allegations.
I grabbed his hat, threw it, and I said go get it. We did grab him and bring him to the ground.
But tried to downplay the incident.
I didn't hit him. I don't think I did something illegal, right?
It's unwanted touching.
It's unwanted touching. I don't know what that is, right?
In fact, Mahoney tried to victim blame.
He wanted to fight. He got what was coming to him.
The officers didn't buy that story and arrested them on the spot.
You have the right to an attorney if you cannot afford one.
They're now facing 4th-degree misdemeanor assault charges.
Now here's what jumped out at me at first. What must be the broader culture at a pretty major institute like Washington State University to even spill over into violence like this? Because remember, if this happened, that's a sign that there's much more political tension happening beneath the threshold of violence, and while the attackers in this particular case may have been arrested, you'd be surprised that it's not always the case. By the way, this is a great time to subscribe and hit the notification bell to always see the real story behind the curtain. Now, here's a few statistics that paint a really grim picture of that. According to the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, conservative students at American college campuses consistently report much higher levels of self-censorship at around 40% than liberal students, and this is in all contexts, like with other students, with professors, or in the classroom environment. Not just that, you'd be surprised at how nearly a third of both conservatives and liberals at these campuses think violence is sometimes justified to stop speaker events, which shows just how fraction the culture of conversion has really become at these campuses, almost waiting to spill out into something like this.
Sonny says he doesn't know Hoff, but his prior interactions with Mahoney may have played a role in this assault, since the two are at opposite ends of the political spectrum.
Patrick said, I'm a communist because the system fails people.
Sonny is a Republican and volunteers with conservative groups on campus like Turning Point USA.
Can you tell me about Patrick?
He seemed like a nice dude.
Mahoney is a WSU graduate student and instructor, teaching a freshman-level political science class.
Had his beliefs and
by all accounts, Mahoney is a notorious far-left activist.
Of course, I'm going to think you are beyond insane.
Sonny says Mahoney has strong ties to the Democratic Socialists of America, progressive pro-labor groups, and is someone who publicly touts his admiration for the Communist Party. Look at the hammer and sickle pin he's wearing in this official school photo.
Mahoney's goal is to turn this country into a communist dictatorship or a communist authoritarian system.
I give him a hit to be like, don't anymore.
This violent incident happened in late February, and the school temporarily suspended Mahoney from classes and teaching duties. But Sonny is speaking up now since he's hearing his attacker could be reinstated and doesn't want that to happen.
He really shouldn't be teaching here, in my opinion, because, if you can't tolerate different opinions, then what's the point?
You'll be glad to know that for once, this is a case that's actually gotten enough media notoriety and public pressure that the attacker Patrick Mahoney has actually been suspended indefinitely, and even assault charges have officially been filed. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a clear case of something that could have gone a lot worse. In 2019, for example, a similar attack happened against an art gallery owner in New York named Jahangir Turan, who was shoved forcefully into a pole by a group of teenagers for wearing a MAGA hat, causing pretty serious bruising to the face. Back then, President Donald Trump reached out to him personally and gifted him a signed MAGA hat as a show of support. But cases like this haven't stopped, even including a more recent case when a woman at New York subway ran after a guy wearing a MAGA hat, only to faceplant herself on the floor when she tripped and fell.
He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
racist. No, he's not. Leave him alone. This is my style. I hope you enjoy the Oh, she tried to attack him. She just hit him.
That is just one instance of many. And it's a pretty sad commentary on the state of an educational institute and culture of conversation at large if people on either side have to self-censor or even fear being attacked for voicing their beliefs. Watch this student's response after the attack, and I think you'll see how students are forced to navigate it.
Have you personally faced threats of violence here on campus for wearing that MAGA cap?
I mean, like some have said, take your hat off. Some have said, if you don't take your hat off, I'm gonna go beat your.
What would you like to say to them if you had a chance?
I would like to say to Patrick, man, I just wish you would have just cussed me out on that night. You didn't have to rip the hat off. And as for Gerald, I didn't know Gerald at all, no.
Do you forgive them?
I'll only forgive them if they become tolerant and change, but right now, no, I don't, because they won't change, so no.
That sounds fair, to be honest, because once you're attacked and overcome the trauma, it does open your eyes to how many more people have to live in fear of what happened to you. And that's the real social cost unless someone just stands up and becomes the first mover against the stifling culture. Speaking of which, watch this incredible footage when a TikTok star walked through the liberal heart of New York City, capturing the reaction of people as he walked past. The loving left, everyone. You almost wouldn't believe these reactions if they weren't recorded. Because just imagine how incensed you must be to outwardly display your anger at someone simply for expressing a political opinion, and you realize how easy it is for that sentiment to boil over at times into actual physical violence. But let me know in the comments what you think, because it's a reminder for how important it is to heal political and social divides early on before they spill out of control.